Something to buy something with your own money that you worked for. It's a whole different mindset when your parents bought you a gift. It's a whole different mindset, especially for me. Like whenever I buy shoes with my money, I care about it a whole lot more than the shoes that I was bought when I was a kid from my parents' money, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I took it as. That's what I kind of took it as meaning. And then whenever I read Defund the Police, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. A lot of articles kind of detailing it a lot deeper. It's kind of what I'm seeing the meaning as. Maybe some people might have meanings that are different. Maybe you just want to abolish police entirely, which is stupid. Obviously, because you're going to abolish police entirely.
That's a terrible idea.
Because human beings naturally are not capable of just existing in order without some form of authority. We're just not capable of that. Because we just each want to do our own thing. And if your thing gets in the way of my thing, then I'm going to have to find a way to fix it. And the way we go fixing it is violence. That's what we have a history of doing. So police obviously needs to exist. But we just need to make sure the police are incentivized to do their jobs, right? And I feel like when I hear the word defund the police, I think it's incentivizing the police financially to do their jobs by readjusting where the funding is going and assessing all the different aspects and levels of the police force. That's what I took it as.
Yeah, just like you said before, when there is a possibility that students are kept in locally developed or applied just so they can get funding from other places. If you're gonna fund a big school, company, organization, police, and organization, and there is a lot of extra money left over, that money could be placed into something even greater. Because again, if I was a teacher, again, I'm not a teacher. I don't know anything. I'm just a kid with a little brain who wants to make this world a better place. But if I was a teacher, I would have a daily mission to make sure every single one of my students, locally developed, applied, would one day have the knowledge, and if not the knowledge, the work ethic to be better than the academic and AP students. And not just because they want to be better or because of bragging rights, but because if they are stuck in this system, stuck in this level, because the system is trying to bring them down and dumb and belittle their worth, then they will carry that mindset, they will carry that attitude, they will carry that belief in those morals into the real world, which will lead them into possible illegal activity, which will lead the police to get involved. But if you fund the police or you fund schools in a way where it helps to reduce crime, if I was a police, I would want to reduce the amount of crime as much as possible. When COVID happened, I think a lot of people,
you want to be out of a job, as you put it.
You want to be out of a job. If you're gonna, bro, I don't know if it's just because I've been watching a lot of superhero anime shows and stuff like that. When there's world peace, it's world peace. You're so used to seeing your favorite superheroes fight daily the villains, and then the director or the producers of the show filler all of the world peace stuff and then go straight to the next storyline. People are so focused on being in the storyline of being in a battle, being in the fight, and being in the all that process, evil, good versus bad stuff, without focusing on going into the world peace stuff. Yes, the world peace like storyline won't draw a lot of fans regarding money and show watching and stuff like that. But that world peace filler in shows is something that should be in real life. That's something that people need to be trying to chase for every single day. I shouldn't have to wake up and hope that I stay alive today, or hope that some next villain won't shoot me for no reason, or hope that I won't get pulled over, or hope that this, or hope that this. I should be able to wake up every day, chilling with my friends, killing it in school, killing it at work, making money, being happy, and going to bed, watching shows and going to bed. That's it. I shouldn't have to worry about looking over my shoulder, hoping no one would rob me. I shouldn't hope that no one would not be given the opportunity to do certain things. I understand not every country or not every city has all the funding or the resources in the world, and I get that. That's a process. That's an over time problem. That's an over time thing. But for the countries that do have the resources, there is no excuse as to why that money, that extra money, is not being put into helping the youth, helping people elevate their lives. Because you say on social media, oh, I'm sick and tired of all these people doing these illegal things. I'm sick of people doing this. I'm sick of people doing that. Then help make a change so that doesn't have to happen anymore. You're spending so much time complaining about why people of color are doing this, but no one is helping the people of color community. You want to defund the police when no one is probably maybe educating certain people of the police department. So like it just goes hand in hand of like, a lot of people want a better world, a more peaceful world, but there needs to be a better usage of the money, better usage of the resources. So many members of each system, in this case the police system, are educated and aware of what's going on, so no one makes the same mistake like what happened a few months ago. Like, why is protesting happening and one army member is stopping those protesters, but that army member is literally like feeling so like conflicted? Why is a police officer giving up their job because they want to protest about something that's going on in their community that they were born into, that they love and respect so much, but their job is preventing them from doing that? And I understand, riots and you got to protect, and I understand that, but there should, but then I see other police officers in different countries protesting along with people. So like, why is there two sides to the coin? Like, I don't know. There's so much more information. There's so much more education. There's so much more stuff that I need to go on into so many of these case scenarios, so many into these stories. But if everyone wants to live a better life, and I understand not everybody will agree with everything, not everyone will agree with the way of approaching certain situations, but if everyone wants to live a better and happier life, then there's no reason why someone should justify and make a mockery of so much oppression that is going on. And people say that the funding of the police should not happen, but they don't see the deeper meaning as to why it should not happen. So instead of saying, don't defund the police and that's it, provide a better solution.
Yeah, and that's the, if you're going to critique something, critique it with education and critique it for the betterment. Critique it with a better plan. Or just critique objectively, because then anyone can do that. You can say, oh, that's not going to work. Then what will work? Mr. Smart person.
What will? Like, let us know. You want your kids to be able to walk in certain neighborhoods and feel safe, but you just want to critique stuff and not provide solutions. Don't rob. You think it's that easy? Stop stealing. You think it's that easy? Like, come on.
Don't riot. Yeah. Don't riot.
Don't riot.
Rioting. Peaceful protest. You think it's that easy? We've been peaceful protesting.
We tried that.
What time is it? We've been peaceful protesting since after slavery ended, bro. Because that's when things got messed up. Because once we were no longer enslaved, okay, bet. We're human now. Crazy. Then there were still social systems in place to oppress people. So it's been happening. Nothing's changed.
And these are things that are. And these are things that are announced. There's so many more things on the lows that are still going on.
Of course.
Like, I think,
the thing you have to remember at all times, we're only seeing the videos that get published, right? We're only seeing the videos where someone survived to send the video, right? Imagine how many things are actually happening where there is no visual evidence. Imagine how many cases go unknown every day. Stress.
I just want to live happy, bro, but these people be playing around. They be playing around with the human race.
They play too much,
man. You need to stop playing. Start living, literally.
Okay. Next things up is kind of something that I found, something that I wasn't even thinking about until it was made aware to me. Kind of the justice for Black men. as opposed to justice for Black women. Not to kind of pit the two against each other, but just to compare and contrast and see which one is being promoted more than the other. Have you noticed anything like that? Have you noticed that people are promoting justice for Black men that are shot and killed or whatever, and then people are not as vocal for Black women who have been shot, killed, stabbed, whatever, just unrightly murdered or unrightly affected?
I've noticed that a lot. I've noticed that a lot. Again, it's not that thing is deeper than just race. It's not just like Black women. It's also women in general that people need to be more educated on, be more aware on, right? Because if it was a Black thing, then there would be as much awareness and talk energy. There we go. That's a better word. There'll be a lot more. There'll be as much energy for justice for Black men, just as justice for Black women. But again, there's still deeper meaning to it. It's not just a Black thing, because it would be an equal amount of energy, but now it's a Black women thing, right? So there needs to be a lot more education and awareness. But I completely agree with you. There's a lot more energy provided to justice for Black men, but there's not as much energy in supporting justice for Black women.
Yeah, some of the cases of Black women being unrightfully treated are so graphic and horrible, right? In comparison, obviously you shouldn't compare two tragedies, comparing anyone's death and anything like that is just awful. But when I think about it, objectively speaking, about what actually happened to this person, that just happens to be a Black woman, what actually happened to this person, that's a Black man, what happens to a Black woman is far worse, objectively speaking, right? Because immediately as I read the statement right now, I just thought of Breonna Taylor, right? That whole situation. That was horrible. Imagine you sleeping in your apartment, right? You're married, you sleeping in your apartment, your girl's sitting next to you, right? Man just start busting shots, right? And then she gets hit. I'm not even fully sure what happened. That's the thing. There's so many things that I'm not fully sure about. But as far as I know, right, she gets hit, right? She's there bleeding, right? They put the boyfriend in handcuffs because it's America. He starts busting back because he has a legal firearm. Mans are shooting. They didn't knock. They didn't say that they're police. They just busted open and started busting caps. I don't know how that makes sense. I don't know what happened. But I think that's the whole point. The whole point is that there should be justice because what they did was unjust. It didn't make any sense, right? And then the boyfriend starts, you as a boyfriend start busting caps back to be like, what you doing? This is where I live. And then they arrest you for firing at a police officer when it was self-defense while your girlfriend is bleeding out, girlfriend, wife, whatever, is bleeding out. And then they don't apply any aid to help her. And then she's then pronounced dead later on. And another thing, they said that she was on transport to the police, to hospital, but she was not on transport to the police. Her body was still on scene, and her mother got word of the shooting was actually at the hospital before she was at the hospital. Before her body was at the hospital, her mother was there. But to wake up, hear about it, get dressed, and then go to the hospital, right? Which means that they did not call an ambulance or apply any aid, right? Later on. And it just gets me to think, what were they doing in that time frame? Were they talking to the boyfriend? Were they like, how do you just see a body just there and you're just not doing anything? How do you just see someone bleeding out and just not calling an ambulance? And as a police officer, you have a direct line to an ambulance that's waiting at the bottom of the hospital, just waiting to come to what you need, right? To come to any civilian that's bleeding out or any criminal that's bleeding out. Because you're not meant to.
I know,
even criminals get better treatment in that situation, or are the ambulance called directly when they're hit or shot, because you want them to, if they're criminal, you want them to heal, you want them to get a fair trial so they suffer in prison, right? That's the thinking. She was just there and just left to die. And then the whole setup with the whole warrant not actually being credible, with it being the wrong address, it's just a stupid situation, right? and then to not have anything, there's no repercussions for that at some sort of level, whether it's the person that issued the warrant that should be charged or should be arrested in prison for life for murder, but somebody, that murder, because that was a murder, needs to be put on somebody's head. And the fact that it's not, right? I get where this is coming from, and I get this point. It makes sense, and it makes sense why people are have this opinion, right? And that's just one example, and that's just the most popular example in my head, which is probably even unfair for me to say because there's probably so many examples that I don't even know about because of this problem.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
stress. Oh,
Yep.
stress.
I know.
Oh,
I understand why you feel that.
Yeah, and then the next couple of topics we have are just kind of bias within systemic racism. That's kind of a segue into it. And then things that kind of feed into that, things that might be a cause of that, right? But we kind of get into the unprotecting of Black women, which is kind of like the thing of where a lot of Black women feel like Black men, which should be for them. You know, we're part of the same race, go through the same struggle. We should be for each other, helping each other. And a lot of Black women feel like, I'd love to have somebody here that didn't feel like this to talk to kind of like go back and forth with again. But yeah, it's just us two, whatever. But yeah, they kind of feel like a lot of Black men, and I want to take out the word feel. They observe, because I think I feel it too. I think it's true what they're saying. A lot of Black men are not uplifting, they're not helping, they don't directly care about Black women as a whole, as much as Black women care about Black men. What do you feel?
It goes in. It kind of like I just remember a few times. I'm not gonna say any names, but I just remember a handful of times of like the whole fetishizing,
Yeah.
What's the word?
Fetish or fetishize, whatever. Continue. English.
Fetishizing type. that whole scenario, like about how Black men would get fetishized by other girls from other different cultures, and they would fill their ego so much because of that. They would tend to bring their energy and love and admiration to that culture group. Not all of them, of course, but if many Black women are feeling that, then I guess many Black men are doing that. Not all of them, but many Black men are doing that. So the thing is,
it's enough to notice
that.
It's enough to notice.
It's enough to notice, right? Exactly. So basically, what is going on here? I kind of lost my train of thought, but
my fault.
There is a lot of fetishization going on of Black men from other cultures that the Black men are very drawn to and attracted to, which again fills the ego. Speaking from experience, it fills the ego so much that they bring their energy to that so much that that's where they want to focus to. That's what they want to focus on. That's who they want to have fun with, play around with, and just bring their energy to. But Black women have been there for them, to support them, to fight their causes, to fight the injustices, to fight all the problems that they face, to be that big sister type figure, to be that best friend and stuff like that. But I guess, I'm not saying that's the one and only reason, like, oh, this white, Spanish, or whatever girl is fetishizing this Black man, and the Black man loves it, and then the Black man's gonna go there and forget about Black women. That's not like that's the only reason. There's a lot of deeper reasons to that, and many more on top of that one reason. But that is, I would say, one of the biggest reasons, because I've heard many Black women tell me how that really is frustrating to them. Like, all these Black women go into these new schools and become the leaders, become the public speakers, become the person who looks out for more, who sees how many Black people are in this school, like how, like are is it just a school predominantly white people, Spanish people, like is it a good mix? Is there enough Black people in this school? Is there enough Black people in that school? Like, they're looking, the Black women are looking for those other Black folks in those schools. But then they feel like Black men are going to these new schools, seeing if other girls from other cultures they can have fun with, play around with. They're not looking for other Black men to support, to come together and stuff like that. They feel like the Black men are having too much fun right now, and they want to play around with these other girls from other cultures instead of admiring and respecting the love their Black sisters are giving for them. So when it comes to supporting injustices that are going on, if they didn't bring energy and support and respect to when Black women were supporting Black men for little things in the past, when the things get bigger, like injustices and things like the Breonna Taylor case and whatnot, there's a lot of silent voices going on. So what I'm basically trying to say is there's a lot of reasoning that kind of distracts the Black men in a way that it perceives as something, like at first they perceive it as something that is good, that they love it, but then they forget about the grander picture of like, it's like they focus more on the fetishizing part instead of focusing on the love that their Black sisters are giving them. So I would say they need to just be aware more, and at least for that reasoning of it, they need to be more aware of how to see who is really supporting them for the right reasons, and around like stuff like that.
Yeah. It's such a dumb thing to even have to talk about, because again, to kind of touch on what you were saying, I understand that if this group of people are boosting your ego, then okay, I'm gonna feed into it. I'm gonna accept that this group of people might only like me for a very minute and two-dimensional aspect of my character and doesn't like me for the whole of who I am. I'm gonna accept that and feed into that attraction because it boosts my ego, right?
Yeah.
I get all that, but it's still kind of surprising to the degree of which it happens, because I do hear, and I don't know about you, but I do hear, and I've had conversations where Black men are kind of, they eliminate the possibility of being with a Black female entirely, right? For a plethora of reasons. And all the reasons are stereotypical, and all the reasons are not fully conducive, or not fully don't fully grasp all Black women, if you know what I mean. It's the same thing as a white person, in essence, saying, I don't want to be with a Black man because all of them are thugs, right? All the reasons that I've heard Black men give for not wanting to be with Black women are from level stereotypes that aren't true on a holistic scale. If they're true for certain people, whatever, but they aren't true on a holistic scale. So it's just stupid. Like, there's no other way. It's just dumb.
I know this topic. It's one of those topics that, like, I just hate that we have to address it. There's no one answer that like cures everything. It's annoying that we have to address it, and the people who have experience in it don't want to come on publicly and address it because they just want to focus on themselves and have fun with other things and make the problem worse.
And we know it from a limited perspective. We've not experienced either side of the spectrum, because we've not experienced what it's like to be the man saying, I don't like you because I don't like Black females, or not into Black females. We haven't experienced that side of it, and we're also not on the other side, like the female side, where it's like, I don't like you because of this, or because of a stereotype that's just predominant with your category of people. You know, it's not like entirely true.
And again, this is not just us thinking like we have all the answers and we're just going to address solutions. We're bringing awareness. We're just talking about it. Because sometimes just bringing awareness to it, you get people thinking, and that one person that thinks about it provides solutions, and that one person that provides a solution, game over for the world. In a good way.
Solution for this one is just education.
It really is. A lot of things are just education and awareness, but people don't want to do it. Yeah. I don't know why.
Where is education going to come from? Where are you going to come from? That's the thing. A lot of these problems are very simple, appearingly simple solutions, but the implementation would be so complex of like, where would you even begin to educate? Because my thinking is, you, as a man who was raised by your mother, you love your mother, and I've noticed that you have a far better grasp on how to deal with women in comparison to me, right?
So much.
I am not as emotionally in tuned. Like, I cannot relate or talk to women as much as you. I was raised by my father for a majority of my life, anyway.
Not even father with all boys, too.
Yeah, my older brother and everything, yeah. So, it's very odd to me when the majority of the black population, male black population, is in your shoes, but they wouldn't harbor the same awareness that you harbor. Like, I would understand that maybe people in my position, not understand, because I don't understand to excuse it, but understand to kind of comprehend how it makes any sense if somebody in my position would be more likely to do that, right? But it's
again, like, I hate that we have to talk about. There's so many things that we have to talk about, but the fact that we have to talk about this just to bring awareness to it, not even like educate, just bring awareness to it is what someone needs. But
how do you know how to educate? Like, how do you educate sense? How do you educate common? Like, it doesn't. Like, what do I say? Like, if you already don't believe it for stupid, false reasons that aren't actually true, what am I gonna say to you? Like I can't. It's like one of those ones. You can't teach someone not to be racist because their reasoning for being racist is already based in falsehoods. So if you prove their reasoning false, it doesn't make a difference. They themselves come to the realization of, okay, I'm false. Maybe I have to think different. But if you try to tell them that they're false, you're just enforcing the falsehood, right? So it's just
you have to. It's kind of like two. I know it's annoying. It's annoying because we're black men, and then those other black men are ruining our reputation.
Yeah,
we're trying to be so good. We're trying to be the best person we can be, but then they mess up because they mess up, and then it looks bad on us.
Yeah,
which is annoying, and many other good black men out there, but it's just very annoying.
Yeah, and then this issue kind of segues into multiple different things. Like the unprotecting of black women kind of segues into not just being a black man or black woman issue, it comes to being a social issue, right? Because there's a perception, I don't know if you're aware of this, there's a perception in the medical field that black women have a higher pain tolerance than other races of women, right? Are you aware of this? And let me just go to the,
I heard about that.
Let me just go. I know it's a social stereotype, but I found a study that did research. I don't know how you would even set this up. I could probably read on how they set it up. But yeah, so basically what it does is it gets a sample size, a kind of ground zero type of sample size of people, or just random people, random. Let me look for the criteria that they look for. They look for white North Americans that speak English. So white Americans that speak English, that was their ideal target that they wanted to see their opinions, right? And they did this online. They did the census online. Let me look for the graph. Here's the graph right in front of me. This graph is crazy. So study one online with a sample size of 92 people, right? You have 23 out of that 92 saying black people age more slowly than other races. This is within a medical context. A medical context, obviously. So I'm going to list everything, right? And it's going to get into some things. It's going to get into some things that are going to be like, don't make no sense. Because obviously, you being black people age more slowly. That you feel nice. Again, it goes into the whole fetish thing. They're boosting one particular thing that is really messed up. So you're even only boosting that one thing, forgetting that I'm a person. But still, it feels nice because it's a compliment at the end of the day. They're saying that we look young. That's nice. It's still messed up, but it's nice. And then blacks, nerve endings are less sensitive than whites. 20 out of the 92 people honestly believe that we have different nerve endings and that we cannot feel as much pain as other races. Let me continue. Black people's blood coagulates more quickly than whites. And this is a thing. I'm actually surprised that the number is so high because I don't even know. I'm kind of scared now because the number is so high. I'm like, am I wrong? But I'm pretty certain that that's not a thing. That's not an actual thing. The coagulation of blood, obviously, I'm sure you know this, but just to say for other people, when you get a cut, right? Water rushes to the area, of course, and then your blood coagulates and hardens at the point of separation, kind of, bring everything back together and heal the wound. They believe that Black people's blood coagulates more quickly so that we can heal from cuts and stabs and bruises more quickly. We're Wolverine, apparently. And then this one's funny. This one's disrespectful. Whites have larger brains than Blacks. Yeah, whites have larger brains than Blacks. And 12 out of the 90, I know it's a small number, 12, but still, that's pretty messed up. 12 out of the 92 people that were sampled honestly believe that. And this is even crazy, because what they did sampled a bunch of people, 92 people, online, but they actually asked first year, second year, and third year medical students, just medical students that are actually like doing their first year of labor, like kind of like co-op. I think it's called residency or whatever. Their first year of co-op. They asked all these people the same questions, and we'll see what they say in a minute. Next up, whites are less susceptible to heart disease than Blacks, which is true. That's actually true, because we have Black people are more susceptible to high blood pressure, which is actually kind of funny, because high blood pressure is linked to stress, and we're also more susceptible to stress as a whole.
I wonder why that's the
case. I wonder why
we're more susceptible to stress.
43 of the people, 43 out of the 92 people said that, obviously, because I think that's
probably the thing that makes the most sense.
It's provable. Like they've actually done studies to prove this. Black people as a whole are more susceptible to heart disease, high blood pressure, and stuff like that. This is also
that makes sense.
No, there's two things that make sense. This is the next thing.
Oh,
Blacks are less likely to contract spinal cord disease. This is another thing. Spinal cord disease, I'm not too familiar with it either, but it's something like they put asterisk, whatever the star thing, next to every statement. Whatever, thank you. What the Black guy said in the back.
Blue.
They put asterisk next to, it looks purple to me. Vote in the comments. Is it purple or blue?
They put red.
Exactly, I know. They put those starry things next to statements that are correct or have been clinically proven by science to be correct. This is one of them, so I guess this is proven by science somewhere. I don't know about this one. I know about the heart disease thing, but I don't know about this one. To be correct, 42 people said that out of the 92. Whites have a better sense of hearing. Whites have a better sense of hearing. I guess this goes to how loud Black people are stereotypically, and the fact that we yell everything and we don't. I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize it, but it's just delicious.
Where'd you get this from again?
It's a government funded study.
Government funded. Okay, continue. I don't even want to entertain it. Continue.
No, like the people aren't government. Like the study itself is government funded, and the study is actually trying to point out these inconsistencies. Yeah, the government is actually the study trying to point out these inconsistencies. Okay, now on to first year. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, okay. So this study was government funded, yes, but the people aren't like government people from the government or whatever. They're just random people online. That's what I'm reading from. So they actually believe that Black people's skin is thicker than white people's skin, like physically thicker, not like emotionally skin is thicker or whatever. They think that the depth of the actual skin cell is bigger, or it goes deeper for Black people. Okay. But that is 58. 58 out of the 92 people believe that. 58. Blacks have a more sensitive sense of smell than whites. 20 people out of the 92 believe that. I don't know, because we have big noses. I don't know. I'm trying to like think. Why do they believe these things? Talk to the white people. I don't know. Yeah, a lot more actually. Whites have a more efficient respiratory system than blacks. Swimming, basically. Respiratory system, swimming. Like you can hold your breath for longer. I don't know. Whatever. I don't get it. I don't know. 16 of the 92. I don't know. Blacks. Black couples are significantly more fertile than white couples. They're more likely to have kids because we have more kids. So they think biologically there's something within us. Like biologically we're more fertile, which is not the case. 17 out of the 92 people believe this. 2 more, Brian. 2 more. Calm down. Calm down. Blacks are better at deciding movement. What? Detecting movement. Blacks are better at detecting movement than whites. Don't do that. We can see, I don't know. I guess this goes to the whole tribal thing, seeing a movement in the bushes. I don't know. But everybody was tribal. It's not just black people that were tribal. The human race was tribal. Oh, in terms of what? Okay. Blacks have stronger immune systems. Bro, they think we're superheroes. I rate it. They really think we're superheroes. 14 out of the 92 believe that. Okay. Okay, which one? Sure. I see what you're saying. Well, there's first year medical student, second year medical student, third year medical student, and as I said, residency. Which one do you want me to read? The people that are in their first year of residency, so they're done medical school, not done medical school, but done I think it's like probably nursing. I think it's university medical school. Like what Ogie and Ori, not Ogie and Ori, Ogie and Esme, Ogie and Esme. That's that program. See how they have to do a couple of years and then they have to do residency at a hospital. I forgot what I think it's like nursing or something, some that type of thing. Third year or residency working. Third year or working. Working. This sample size was smaller. This sample size was 28. So compare, right? Compare the number compared to the sample size. 28, and then let's go. These are people that are in their first year of residency. So they're working, and they're out there in the public working. Blacks are more slow. Blacks age more slowly than whites. 14 out of the 28 medical people who are working in hospitals believe this is an actual biological fact. Blacks' nerve endings are less sensitive than whites. 4 out of the 28, it's not 0, 4 out of the 28 actually believe that this is a biological fact. Black people's blood clots more quickly than whites. 4 out of the 28 people, I swear we're superheroes, guys. I didn't know. Oh, out of the 28 actually believe this. Whites have larger brain size than blacks. Thankfully, 0 out of the 28 people who are residency believe this, thankfully. Blacks have a better sense of hearing. 0 out of the 28 believe this, thankfully. It's not 0 for the first, second, and third year of like the actual studying, but whatever. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Blacks' skin is thicker than whites. Physically, black people's skin is physically thicker than white people's skin, right? 25 out of 28. Because I believe it says n equals 28, so that's the sample size. 25 out of the 28 actually believe that. Blacks have a more sensitive sense of smell than whites. 7 out of 28, not that, okay. 7, that's a pretty small number compared to 25. And they believe that these things are biological facts. Anyway, whites have a more efficient respiratory system than blacks. 4 out of the 28, Black couples are significantly more fertile than white couples, which means that they have a higher likelihood of getting pregnant when they have intercourse. 7 out of the 28 believe that this is a biological fact. Blacks are better at detecting movement than whites. 11 of the 28 believe that this is a biological fact. Blacks have a stronger immune system than whites. 4 of the 28 believe that this is a biological fact. Yeah. And I say all that.
Roundtable. You hear the sound. Kinggsz, he didn't know I was the best ever. My favorite number 4 because I'm forever. Roundtable gang, do you wanna be a member? We celebrate every time we come together. I would rather effort than for you to lie to me. Honestly, over someone that is trying to be someone you're not, you're still gonna lie after